It's so cold outside. It's crazy. I'm really beginning to despise the winter. February is a terrible month. Now we're into March, but the temperatures are still frigid and cold, which means that I can't go out and do the things that I love to do. Flying my drone, going out and photographing. Now, a lot of people might say, just go out there. It doesn't matter how cold it is. If you are passionate about something, you can bear with it. But the truth is, it's been so cold. It's like minus 12 degrees right now. It's just too cold for me. I'm not a real winter person. So I'm cooped up inside, making videos, and waiting with bated breath for spring to come and the weather to change. In the meantime, however, I've been thinking about flying my drone, and one of the questions that came to my mind is, if I go out and fly in unrestricted airspace, and I'm flying over private property, do I have a right to do so? Can I take off from a public space and have my drone fly over private property? Would I be breaking the law? Or is that perfectly legal? I read all sorts of things on the web about this. Some people say, yeah, you can fly as long as you don't go onto somebody's property to take off. But if you are taking off from public land and you fly over private property, it's okay, because the landowner does not actually own the airspace. Other people say that it's not right because there's a privacy issue there. So I thought that I would call Transport Canada and speak to one of their officials to find out what the truth is. I managed to get through to a person who deals with drone laws and drone issues, and here's what she said.
Well, in terms of flying over somebody's private property, it is so advisable that you get their permission to fly over. But technically, in terms of regulation, as long as you are compliant with the rules of what you're certified for, so basic operations, so you're flying in uncontrolled airspace, you're not flying over any bystanders, and you're maintaining a distance of at least 30 meters away from the bystanders.
Right.
You did your obligation to follow your rules, your certification, what it allows you to do.
Okay.
So that touches up a little bit on the Privacy Act.
Okay.
Which is why it's still advisable that you get permission from that property owner. The property owner, they own the property, the land, but it's the airspace that you're flying in. And they don't own the airspace. So
basically, you are within your rights to fly over private property. It's a good idea to ask permission first. It's just common courtesy, and I do recommend that you seek permission before you fly over somebody's private property. However, legally speaking, you don't need to ask for permission. So if you happen to fly over somebody's field, for example, and let's assume for a minute that you actually try to ask for permission, but there's nobody there to ask permission from, and you fly over that person's property, and then they just show up and say, you're flying over my property, you have no right to fly here. Well, theoretically and legally, you do have a right, and you can say that to the person. It's probably a good idea to be nice about it, and if the person is insistent that you get off their property, it's probably a good idea to not push the matter. However, legally, you are entitled to fly your drone over private property without asking for permission. As long as you take off from a public area. So an area that is open to everybody and that is a public space. Anyway, I hope this little tip, this little drone flying tip is helpful. If you like this, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Until next time, take care and happy flying. Happy flying, at least when the weather changes. Bye for now.